Hello and welcome to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, where I discuss the future of this region, humongously blessed with natural and human resources. Every week, we give time to reflecting on topics relevant to the development of the Niger Delta and for people. On this episode, we're doing precisely that as well. I'm here. My guest is also, you meet him shortly, and we're focusing on how to take our region to a more promising future. The podcast is sponsored by the operator of the NMPC, Renaissance Total Energies Active Joint Venture, Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. Thank you for joining. I am Adedayo Ilushakin. Our topic for this episode, Building the Builders, Developing Tech Talent. On this episode, we're exploring one of the most pressing questions of our time. How do we develop tech talent in a country and a region racing to catch up with a digital world? Across Nigeria, technology is reshaping everything: communication, work, finance, entertainment, governance, and even creative industries. Yet behind every transformation is a human being, someone who learned, practiced, experimented, failed even, and tried again. But developing tech talent doesn't happen by accident. It requires structure, access, community, mentorship, and opportunities that match ambition. So today, we're breaking down what it truly takes to grow the next generation of developers, designers, engineers, creators, and innovators, especially in emerging regions like the Niger Delta. Again, our topic for this episode of Canvas is Building the Builders, Developing Tech Talent. And my guest is Stewart Ezekiel Jr. Stewart Ezekiel Jr. is a tech entrepreneur and founder of Hanvox Tech Hub, where he has trained over 3,000 tech talents, built 50 plus digital products, and incubated more than 14 startups through initiatives like Hanvox School, Tech Pass Africa, and Tech Up Port Harcourt. He is building one of the Niger Delta's most vibrant tech ecosystems. A data scientist, product expert, and AI advocate, Stewart is committed to driving innovation and digital transformation across the region. Hi, Stewart. Welcome to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable.
Thank you, Dio. Thank you. Glad to be here.
I am fascinated by a lot of things, actually. But I think anyone who has half a curious mind will no doubt be fascinated with what's happening in the tech space, because so much has happened in so short a time. And if you engage in conversations like the kind we're about to have right now, so much more is even promised to happen. It's almost like we're just scratching. I mean, so much has happened, but it's like we're still just scratching the surface. Let's start on this note. How do you feel about the speed of the digital race or the tech, what's happening in the tech space at this time?
So I think it's pretty simple. We've never been stagnant at any time. Right? The world has always changed. And if you look at the trajectory at every point in time, the speed for that change is always higher than the previous one. So I think we're at a point where, yes, as expected. However, the speed is going to be so unprecedented. But I'm glad that we're all here now.
So before we start recording, I had a conversation with you, as I usually have with just about every guest who's on the podcast. And I related to you an episode, or a scene from an episode from one of my all-time favorite sitcoms, The Big Bang Theory, where I think it's Leonard, one of Sheldon's friends or roommates. I think he was the only roommate Sheldon had, anyways. Who was it? Him who on a radio interview said something about physics being dead, and that caused a lot of chaos in that episode. And he said that to the effect that for a seemingly long period of time, there had been no major advancements. Nothing had happened in the field of physics. Is tech different in that respect? Because you can hardly say that for a long period of time, there's been no advancement in the field of tech because it appears, like you said, it's never been stagnant. Something's happening almost every time. And especially now, the speed has been somewhat unprecedented. So is tech then different from other scientific adventure in that regard?
I think at the very core, the truth is you can't build these things on nothing. So even the period that would have said probably nothing was happening, it's more like things were being built at the background, right? Before we could see them. So it's just like everyone talking about AI now. It didn't start now. This thing has been happening. They've been building, they've been collecting data, they've been training data, right? So it's just like, let's take, for example, something as simple as Facebook now. The Facebook you have now is not the Facebook you had in 2012, right? So it means that over time, there will be some sort of improvement. But tech didn't just appear from nowhere. At the very core, tech is built on mathematics, it's built on physics, it's built on science itself. Yeah, so it's just something that is now built on what has been happening over the years.
Ever so often, you hear expressions such as one we're discussing right now, developing tech talent. I don't think I ever hear or hardly hear anyone ever talk about developing accounting talent. Because we have accounting departments in our various departments, so in schools, universities, and the likes. And accountants are being churned out every semester or every year. Nobody talks about developing medical talent. So what is the fuss? And why does it appear to be a slogan, mantra, if you will, developing tech talent?
So I think tech is unique, right? Tech is unique, but if you want to be an accountant, you have to go to school. These are individuals, they're people. So it's the same thing. This is you trying to talk about people who are playing the tech space, people who can be able to use their tech skills to solve problems. But the idea there is just beyond someone programming you and say, study accountant. Now you're looking at to say, I think I want to do this thing. And there is a tech skill that I can learn based on what I love to do or what I'm capable of or what actually tickles my fancy. So it's more like beyond just going to study a particular thing. You're combining it with something like inside of you, and then you learn a skill and then make it work. So that's why it's like a buzzword there, tech talent. But it's still the same thing like going to school to study accountant.
I think you're underselling it. I think there's something you're not saying. Because it almost sounds like a warning. It's like they're saying, develop tech talent, Joe. Develop tech talent, Joe.
No,
It almost sounds like that. It's like there's something sinister behind it.
Yeah, it's like you own something. But at the very core, they're actually individuals. Right? So you say this is a tech talent. So it's like someone who actually does have a tech skill, someone who is, okay, I know something about tech, I'm playing the tech space. So that person's more like a tech talent. That's actually nothing. But like I said, tech is unique. Okay. It's just like a couple of years ago, Python was just a snake. Now Python is a programming language. A couple of years ago, Apple was just a fruit. Now, if you go to Google and search Apple, you might not even see the fruit first. You see a product, you see a phone. So tech is unique in its own way. So tech talent is just like individuals with tech skills.
What does it mean to be a tech talent now? And I say that again, this backdrop, and which I mentioned to you a while ago as well. Yeah. So when I was much younger, acquiring tech education at the time implied going to some computer school, so to speak, and you had a number of them. Some of them were big brand names at the time, very big in Lagos and elsewhere. And when you see the entire package, it was learning CorelDRAW, Excel, maybe Photoshop if you want to do something advanced. That was it. You know, I don't know, maybe if you went to school, you wanted to do some advanced courses, maybe coding would come in, but it wasn't even a common expression at the time, programming, coding, things like that. It was more niche, unlike now. So what does it mean to be a tech talent now?
Okay, I think we'll look at it like this. Number one is we have to look beyond the noise, right? It's more like number one, you have that consciousness of what tech is, that we're looking at a set of skill that we can use to solve human problem a whole lot faster, become a whole lot more productive. And so what it simply means now that you're a tech talent is that you can use any of these skills to be able to. So let's say someone said, I want to own a website. And there's some guy somewhere who can put some scripts together and give you that website so that I can be able to know more about your business from anywhere you are. You call that guy a web developer. That's a tech talent, right? So it's actually that, or those individuals who actually don't have this set of skills in the tech space. So be data analytics, be cybersecurity expert and all of that. And just like from what you're saying, do we still have Microsoft Word now? Yes. But it's not the Microsoft Word you had a couple of years ago. Right? There's been lots.
It wasn't a Word in Windows 98. Or was it Windows 95 originally, if I remember correctly?
Or the one you had in Pentium. So that's like a whole lot of improvements now. The Excel you had then is not the Excel you have now. But yes, there's still Excel, the same Microsoft company. So there's been a whole lot of improvement. And over that period, there's been massive awareness, right? That, I can use this to do this particular thing. I can blend this and do this particular thing. So you refer to those people, they have tech talent. That's actually what it means. So if you can actually possess any of those tech skills, then of course, you can say you're a tech talent.
Before I ask you the next question that comes to mind, I must ask this. And I don't know how easy or difficult it might be for you to answer the question.
Okay.
But where is the world right now, technologically speaking?
Okay, I think we're at a point where we want to make things a whole lot more easier and convenient, right? And then there is some sort of competition between the big players, all right? And as the day progresses, there is now the gap between those that we will normally refer to as the producers and the consumers are widening up. All right. So you just have these guys who are busy coming up with stuff. They have another set of guys who are just excited using them. Most times they're not even using them for productive stuff, right? So that's where we are. So the idea would be, this is how it's been done, but can we shorten the time? Can we reduce cost by doing ABC? That's actually where we are. And because of the competition among the big guys, now we're talking about Apple, we're talking about Microsoft, talking about Google, we're talking about X, Elon Musk and the rest. Because of this competition, we're having, that change is happening so fast. So this company launches this product that can do this. Then you have the other guys who launch theirs in the next 1 week and say, okay, us can do this a whole lot better. And then we're now comparing, can you use this one? This one can do this. So because of that, there is now that need to let's make things a whole lot easier and convenient. And trust me, that's actually where we are now.
I think there's a general understanding that Nigeria is behind as far as the tech race is concerned.
Right.
You keep talking about trying to catch up and racing to catch up. Mm-hmm. We've been playing catch up with a number of things for a long time. And for the foreseeable future, it appears we might remain in that catch up phase. Mm-hmm. So what is it that we're lacking then? Is it tech talent in terms of shortage, or is it opportunities?
Well, I wouldn't say opportunities, really. I think a lot of factors there. If you look at what I said earlier on, you have the guys that you can just refer to as they're the producers. And what I mean in a way is that they're the ones coming up with this stuff. We're just here. Okay, think about AI now. So you just see people excited that they could generate pictures, that they could generate videos. Who are those who gathered this data? AI is running on data. It took these guys a couple of years. When they were gathering data and building, where were we, right? If you look at, as a country, right, do we actually even have data? If we say we want to build an AI today that can help us predict judgment of a court, right? Do we have these judgments? Do we have a database of these judgments that we've had in the past so that we could have our data scientists, machine learning engineers or AI engineers be able to train and model these judgments, right? That's where it starts from. So it's fundamental. There is education. So we are always on the surface where we want to consume and we get comfortable with that. And so what happens over the years is that these guys will draw a circle for us, right? And then while we're playing around inside that circle, they're already drawing a bigger circle, right? So we'll just be excited there, and then they come up and like, oh, there is something, and then we get excited. Okay, then number two, we'll now boil down to what you said. You see, at the very point where you say you want to create, you need beyond just passion. You need beyond just say, oh, I have a tech talent. There's some sort of support. There's supposed to be a system, okay, where you can say, okay, I'm doing this, and maybe from government organizations, and you can push this set of people. And then number three will be our educational system, right? It's funny down here, we just feel like anybody can do tech, whether a school dropout or not. And then we can make it make sense when we start talking about people like Bill Gates. Bill Gates dropped out of school. But
Zuckerberg.
But nobody is talking about the fact that most of their engineers are people who went to school. Most of the people driving AI today are professors. They are professors, right? So if we had gotten it right, at the educational level and start raising, how can someone say, I studied computer science, and you can't write simple CSS, HTML code? We have a couple of them coming to our hub for internship, and you'll be shocked. Level 400 computer science, level 300 computer science, and you can write simple CSS, HTML code. And you're almost going up, and then you're going to see a computer science graduate at the end of the day. So I think these are factors, and we might be there for, like you said, for a very long time.
Zuckerberg may have dropped out, but I'm sure that there are lots of MIT graduates working for Facebook.
True. And then you need to also ask, where did he drop out from? Right? Okay, so imagine you're 1 year in the particular institution that he dropped out from. Okay, the network, the exposure, and then the environment. Is it the same thing? So that's why somehow, even in the tech space, if you look at most people that have not actually been to school or studied, there are certain areas in tech that they will not be able to thrive. All right. You see people saying, I want to do data science, right? And they just do it on the surface. And then you try to take them deep, and they start realizing that you're going to come across core mathematical concepts if you're actually going to be able to build anything solid and compete out there. And then they realize that, after all, it's not just what I was thinking. So they just ran with the ideology that most of these guys dropped out of school, but not trying to understand that as today, they are dealing with professors. You have professors doing research, sending back to them to say, this is what you've gotten, and all of that. Yeah.
So you described computer scientists or so-called computer scientists, even graduates from institutions who are unable to do basic programming, as you say. What then are the barriers for young persons in our climate who want to enter the tech space? What are the biggest barriers they have to contend with?
Okay, I think down here, some will quickly just mention financial resources. Okay, that should be, but I will slightly not agree. Like that's like the first problem. I think one of the core barriers is actually lack of education and awareness. And education now, I don't mean just going to school. I mean understanding what the tech thing is really all about beyond the noise. Okay, so you just see people say, tech thing. So someone can attend an event and then hear something very exciting, and then they say, tech, and then the next day he's calling you or she's calling you up and say, this tech thing, that beg, how I want to start and all of that. So it's that awareness of, this is, most of them don't have that. So they can call you and ask you, please, which one can I do that can pay me money immediately? Right? So it tells you that, no, something is still missing. Why are you calling to say which tech skill can pay me money immediately? Okay, so I believe that awareness is missing. And of course, there are other basic things. They will tell you internet, you have a whole lot of poor people, even based on statistics in Nigeria. So they might not be able to get certain things. But I always say that you could start with what you have. Because if you say you don't have money to buy data and you can see a movie on Netflix for 2 hours, you can also watch a YouTube tutorial for 45 minutes. right? So it's more like you starting with what you have. But yes, there you have those barriers. And I think the environment, I believe that I don't like pushing blames, but I believe that government does have, they have to take some portion of the blame.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm. How would you compare the Niger Delta's tech ecosystem with other regions of the country?
Well, I think without sounding, okay, so I'm in Niger Delta, but the truth is we're doing good. We're doing good. But I believe that we're not growing at the rate that we should compared to what we have, right? Let's look at Lagos, for example, right? Lagos is way, way up there. Okay. Enugu is there. But I believe that, yes, we're making very reasonable progress, but not like at the level at which we're supposed to. And of course, there are factors that are responsible for that.
Let's compare. I mean, you mentioned Lagos, so let's compare Lagos to Port Harcourt, for example.
That's right.
Both, different vibrant cities in their own rights, but also representing two separate regions as well.
Yeah.
But comparing the cities now, so what is it about the tech ecosystem in Lagos that surpasses that of what you would find in Port Harcourt?
Oh, several things. Number one, I think I'll start with policy. Government is involved. Okay. Government, you could feel that level of government presence in what they do. Almost every year, you're going to see the governor of Lagos State attending some tech meetups or event conferences organized by hubs like what they call Innovation in Lagos Stone. You have that number one. Number two, there's collaboration. There's serious loss collaboration. And collaboration now is not just a tech company collaborating with another tech company, right? You have collaboration between the tech ecosystem and some other ecosystems, all right? You have tech, you have people in real estate, you have people in entertainment. So there's that level of collaboration. Number three is their startup ecosystem. They've managed to be able to build talents who understand what it means to build, or train talents who understand that we need to be able to create solutions, all right? And then number four, very important, is visibility, all right? Almost all the headquarters of all the tech blogs you have in Nigeria are all in Lagos. So when you run through their story, you're just going to see whatever. Only like a couple 2 years ago or so that we launched Tech Lead blog to tell Port Harcourt tech stories. And that happened to be the only blog you have doing that here. So who's telling our story? If you look at products, if you don't mind me mentioning their names, is that fine?
Go ahead.
Rokio, for example, those guys started here. Terra just raised a couple of millions of dollars now, and they're everywhere. Everyone's talking about them. It's here. So you can go on and on. Everyone knows about SimForest and the rest. These guys started here. Okay. But then who is telling our story? Who's actually telling our story? So if you have that system, investors can be able to say, oh, these guys are building good. I'll give you an example. Tech Port Harcourt Tech Expo, right? Started a hackathon program for each year of each year they're hosting it. And for 2 years now, they've had this hackathon section, right? And I can tell you, in short, the last edition you had over 50 to 60 teams being represented, each of them building something solid across health, logistics, real estate, education, and all of those, right? Now, that is the only time you're ever going to talk about something solid like that in a whole year. In a whole year. So now, but if you go to Lagos, there's an tech event happening here. There's another tech event happening the other side today. There's another tech event. There's a hackathon happening in this campus. There's a hackathon happening there and all of that. So you could see that difference, all right? So starting from government to collaboration to media visibility and all of that, then the right knowledge, because there's something that happens if you have people that talents can look up to. And that's a question that most times we keep asking, who are tech talents here looking up to? So if you're in Lagos, you see Paystack, you could be able to attend an event and meet their founder just to listen to him, hear his story. All right. But who are we actually looking up to? Where are those products here? Where are the venture capitalist firm? Okay. So take, for example, what Uchaniche is doing with Startups Out, right? If not for just something like that for years, you could imagine where the region would have even been if you didn't have something like that were able to, raise some people. And then this is where it will even touch you the more, that we're losing our talent every blessed day, right? There is this, they are leaving. We train, so I know what I'm saying, right? They are leaving every day. They have to, you can't force them to stay.
Living for what?
Other cities, Lagos, for example, they've got to. Why? Because, this is a product designer. Someone is saying, come over there. We're going to pay you 400,000 naira a month even. But here, there is one small company that is saying, okay, come, let's see if we can manage to give you 50,000. You don't blame them. Do they even know what this guy is coming to do for them? Right? So you have that gap.
You're in training. And once we have those who have gone before or who are currently in the system, maybe by virtue of watching and listening to this conversation or some other experience, there are going to be other beginners as well.
That's right.
So what learning approaches work for beginners, those who want to get into the tech space?
Okay, I think number one is them starting with what actually resonates with them. Okay. There is a story that will tell you that, I started with this and then I did it for like 6 months and I realized that it wasn't working. Then I did this. Now, the person that is telling this story might be a successful person in the tech space, but we need to go back and say, when did you do this? You did this like 10 years ago. Tech is not the same thing now. Things are changing so fast. Products that could take us 3 months, 4 months to build for clients, we now build it in 3 weeks. Right? So a lot of things have changed and you can't go with that same mentality and say, let me try this. Okay, if it doesn't work 4 months, I could. So they need to first look at those various areas and find out what resonates with them, right? So if they find out what resonates with them, it's okay, let me do this. Then number 2 would be learning and practicing. Learning and practicing. Most of them just learn, they did this and they're fine, but they don't have problem-solving skills. They are scared most times to go beyond what they've been taught. So let me just do exactly this one. If it works, like you said, and that's fine. But most of them that try to okay, let me go beyond this. Let me see. They do pretty good. So that learning and practicing. And then the most difficult part is not the training period. The most difficult part during this journey is immediately after your training. Because that's where you begin to ask, where am I going to work? Who's going to pay me money? Right? So immediately they're done with training, one of the things they need to do is to look out for where to intern. And that's why problem-solving skill is very important. You need to ask yourself, where are the fashion design businesses? I'm a web developer. Do they even have a website? So can I just approach them and build a very beautiful whatever and say, hey, ma'am, I've done this for you. Just buy the hosting and domain. Now, if I do that for 5 fashion design businesses in the next 2 months, right, I've built a solid portfolio. And within that period, they need to also learn how to show up. That's the difference. So most of them just focus on I'm learning and they're just hiding. If you go on LinkedIn, you can't find them. They're on social media just watching skits and all of that to give themselves company, but they don't show up. They don't know how to document their journey. But that's why you find out that they say, so many of them are learning, but how come only few? Go and watch those few that are doing pretty good. You find out that right from the beginning, they just started documenting their journey. They started reading well. They started connecting with the right kind of people instantly. And then they can able to say, okay, within this period, let me go show what I'm capable of. Because 3 months, 4 months, 6 months is not enough, actually. Okay, so you're done. You've gotten what is needed. Now go ahead and let's see what you can do. And showing up and trying to solve real problems will make sense. Then another thing is that within that phase, they will be able to find out if they're going to be more like a tech employee, a tech freelancer, or maybe a tech founder. These are 3 different parts that is very confusing. So if I find out that what works for me is going to be, let me just go work and earn money, maybe remotely or on site, then I begin to position myself that way. If I find I just want to be a freelancer, get it from me, I do it, and that's it. I don't want to, anybody bossing me around or something. That's fine. But if I want to be a tech founder, which is more like the very difficult path, then I also position. It will now affect who I'm looking up to. There are some of them who want to be more like tech freelancers, and they are modeling tech founders. There is nothing wrong for them to admire tech founders, but their life and yours will not be the same. These guys have some certain level of audacity, even if we all need audacity, right? But they have certain level of audacity. They can make sacrifices that you that just want to be a tech employee might not be able to make. So you make 1 million as a tech employee, you want to, this guy that is a founder makes 1 million naira and 900 and something thousand is going back into his product that he just launched and he's trying to push it, to gain traction. So I think those are the things. So once they start learning, they have to start learning how to show up and pay attention to some other skills beyond just I'm learning product design, I'm learning web development and all of that. Have those problem-solving skills, learn how to document their journey and show up, and be ready to humble themselves. Intern, serve is going to open up ways for you. What most of them are struggling for are things that they could have gotten by someone just calling and recommending them.
How important are mentorship and community in developing talent?
You can write them off. And it's another problem that I believe that we also have in here, right? Mentorship is very important because these guys have walked the path and they can guide you. Not that you will not face your own unique problems, but they can be able to say, this is it. But the problem that we normally have is that they believe that mentorship means that you're entitled to the person's success, right? It doesn't work like that. And you have people that might want to mentor, but are you willing to be mentored? These are two different things. But you can't take it away. If you have the right kind of mentor, they will tell you, oh, do like this. A true mentor can tell you, I have this guy. Okay, let's take, for example, some set of people finished training, and I called a real estate company that launched a product, and they were struggling trying to get that tech product into the market. And I said, hey, we have these people, there are about 4 of them. Want to send them over to you. They will come run this product for 3 months. Make provision for this, and this. I know you might be a little bit skeptical about paying them now because of what you've invested in the past, but they're willing to come 3 months, do this stuff and all of that. They all listened. They are there. They're doing their 2 months already. The owner of that company is now discussing, what do you think we're going to pay them now? I'm comfortable with what they are doing. Right? So that's what mentorship will do for you. So they've seen, they've known, they can tell you do this, they can. Then community is very, very, very important. And like when you say compare Port Harcourt, Lagos, community, you're going to find all those pockets of communities, that is going to help you while you're there. There will be resources, you'll be able to meet people. But if you're also joining a community, you have to join with the right mentality. There are those who are joining with, let me go and intimidate people. Let me go and show that I got this stuff. Why some join and then they start feeling intimidated? If you join, let's say you're doing product design and you join a product design community, your first idea should not be that you might get a job from there. The reason is simple. Everyone there is looking for the same job you're looking for. So I might not come to the community and share a job opportunity that I would have actually taken, but they could share resources. There could be events that all of us can go together, and then you could actually say, let's collaborate. Can we come together and then do this particular thing? Then you can have people you can actually look up to. So trust me, mentorship community, we can't do without them.
It is Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by Renaissance. Building the builders, developing tech talent is what we're discussing. My guest, of course, is Stewart Ezekiel Jnr. We'll go for a break. We'll return shortly. Conversation continues in a bit. Please stay with us.
In the heart of our journey, where the sun touches the earth and the wind whispers through the trees, a new chapter unfolds. A chapter where energy illuminates more than just bulbs. bulbs, it lights up minds. A chapter of unity, a coming together with a common goal to energize futures and illuminating lives. In classrooms, young dreams evolve, inspired by the promise of a brighter tomorrow fueled by available energy. Small businesses flourish, becoming seeds of prosperity. Energy that empowers and is catalyst for growth and change. The future is energy. So, let's light up the path to a sustainable future together. Energy for you, me, and the world at large. Energy for people and planet. We are Renaissance.
Welcome back to the Converse Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by Renaissance. I'm Dio. Building the builders, developing tech talent is what we're discussing. Stewart Ezekiel Jnr is my guest. Stewart, welcome again.
Thank you.
In the first half of our conversation, amongst other things, you talked about how acquiring skill, especially of a formal kind, is important. While it's easy and maybe inspiring in some instance to talk about the Zuckerbergs of this world who dropped out, the Larry Ellisons of this world who you say they actually didn't finish school. But forget that for Oracle, for Microsoft, for Facebook and the likes, for Dell and the likes, you have MIT graduates. As you also mentioned, professors doing research, being funded by these individuals. Definitely not everybody working for Oracle or for Dell is a dropout.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think they probably are very few and far between, for that matter. That said, what should our schools, our formal places of learning, our universities, our local tech hubs, what should they be doing different?
I think the answer is pretty much simple. Partnership. Because if you just throw that question to the table, everybody wants to blame the government. But I think we're now at a point where with the kind of resources that is available, online and stuff, we can just not pay so much attention and try to do stuff if we really want to do them. Partnerships. You see, I've had the privilege to visit some institutions that say they are doing software engineering. And if you're in the tech space, you might just leave, get into your car and start shedding tears. It's just more like you took people's children and you're wasting their time. You could have solved that problem by just simple partnerships. There are hubs. Go into partnership with them. Set up the system. If they have to come in and provide this stuff for the students, let them do it. We've seen it work in some cases where they do stuff like entrepreneurship and they say, we're bringing somebody from here to teach people how to do this. It's the same thing. But you cannot in 2026 gather people's children and you're teaching them Fortran 77, right? It's 2026. So I think partnership, they have to go out of their way. And it's let's partner with these hubs. Let's partner with these organizations. And it's we don't even have to do it for all the students per time. You can do them in batches. And the numbers are there. You're going to, even as an institution, you're going to make more money. Because you have most of these students now, they are so interested. Most of them are skipping school. They're skipping classes to attend tech trainings. I'm telling you the truth. They're skipping classes to attend tech trainings. Now, imagine if those things are happening inside the campus and they know that, we're partnering with this hub or these hubs, they're coming in to do this. They would deliver on their curriculum and then they'll be able to give that value. I also believe that most institutions, they've not seen the future. True. If they have, then nobody will even be telling them Because right now, they are producing students who are coming into the world to find out that the problem they were taught to solve no longer exists, or that someone else have come up with something else to solve the problem. Okay, so you're using the same curriculum you used 20, 30 years ago when we didn't have certain tools that we have now to teach these students. And then, so because of that, as they come out, they're like, oh, there's problem. And they'll tell those that are still in school, right? So I feel they can do that and adopt, if the lecturers, if the institutions adopt these things, even for the lecturers themselves, it will be a whole lot easier.
What can corporate organizations and employers do to help close the experience gap?
Okay, I think, well, I think most of the employers, most of them first need to understand, ask themselves a very simple question: how much are we integrating tech into our organization? If they are not being honest with themselves, in the next couple of years, they will regret it. It's coming and it's coming so fast. You're just going to see a 16-year-old build your business in probably 2 months and 3 months with just some sort of reasonable support. If they come to that understanding how much they need tech, they need to make it a whole lot easier to say, okay, I think we need to go for this. Again, it will still boil down to, I keep hammering on that, partnership, collaborations. Most of them don't understand how much they can walk up to a tech company and say, I want to collaborate with you. You're training people for 3-4 months. Can you send them down to my company after your training for internship? That way, it interests you to know that most of these trainees are more than willing to go do internships for free, just to be able to build their portfolio, right? But then these companies will tell you they can't get tech talents because probably they can't pay them. Yet there are tech talents, well-trained, who are looking for where they can just go, grow and build their portfolios. So I think it will still boil down to that partnership, asking the right kind of question. Then finally, I also believe that tech companies, hubs, do have a lot of role to play in educating businesses, right? We have to outgrow the concept. That's why, for example, we conveyed Tech Up Port Harcourt, right? We grew Tech Up Port Harcourt in the last 6 years to be like one of Niger Delta's biggest events. But we also always say that it's one of the most inclusive tech events because we decided not to just make it just tech people. We try all the time to like call businesses, just come so that you can be able to, don't come and learn coding. Just come and learn how tech can help your business grow. If you understand how tech can help your business grow, that's going to be you probably employing a techie. So you're creating the opportunity. So I believe that even the tech companies, we have to go beyond just shouting tech, and begin to educate businesses how tech will help their businesses. Not telling a 50-year-old businessman to come and learn product design. This guy is already doing maybe 20 million per month. And you say, come and learn product design. What is he going to use a product design for? To earn 500,000 naira per month? But you can actually tell this guy, this is what your business is currently doing. And I think this is how tech can help your business make more profit, gain more visibility, dominating your industry. They want to listen. So it's the same thing you tell a guy running a real estate company, come and learn how to do video with AI. And he looks at you and like, come and learn how to do dancing video with AI. That's like what you feel I should do. But you're not telling this guy how AI can help him reposition his real estate business or help him prepare for what is coming in terms of AI for his industry. So I believe that tech companies will have a role to play to go out there, have those conversations, educate businesses that this is, so we just call it tech for businesses. All right. So for this business, how will tech help you? For this business, how will tech? If they have that knowledge, then you are at the same time creating opportunities for the tech talents because now they know.
Yeah, finish that statement.
Yeah, so now they know that, okay, this is the importance. So let me go get a tech talent that can come help me achieve this.
Speaking of opportunities, how do we encourage, or might I say incentivize young persons to take up the wide-ranging roles available in the tech space? You broke that down to 3 main roles earlier on. You talked about
tech employee,
exactly,
tech freelancer, and tech founder.
Exactly. So how do we incentivize young persons to take up these roles?
Who incentivize? Is it the tech talent or?
The talent, yeah. Young persons to take up
Okay.
First, that means that they have to even avail themselves opportunities of training and all that, and then before they can even,
I think it should start from those who are already doing it. Okay. Like I said, there is the skill, then there is the business of the skill. So at the point they are learning, they need to be taught how to position themselves. You go on LinkedIn, you're going to see most entry-level tech talents. They are showcasing what they are doing. They are talking about, they are documenting their journey. And then you see companies coming to talk with them. You see senior guys coming to say, okay, I would like to collaborate with you. They make correction. No, this thing you did, but I think you can do it better. There is a project, come and work with me and all of that. So I think we can. And then we need to intentionally now be looking at those companies that are doing these things. There is Dronework, there is Talenta and all of that, and see how we can partner with them, especially tech companies. And so as you're training, you're pushing these guys to these other companies that can help actually, give them the opportunity to showcase whatever they're doing and then get remote jobs. Even at that, there are, the guys in UK, US, and all of that. They actually come into the emerging economies to pick tech talents to say, okay, do stuff for me. So it's to help them position them properly. But it starts from when they are being taught. They have to have that consciousness that I need to show up. I'm not going to learn this thing, go sit somewhere and say someone should pay me money. Nobody knows what you're doing. You have to intentionally show up. So if they can be able to show up and then they're being guided right, then they can be able to get them.
Speaking of being taught, pardon me, and you are in that space already. So from your experience teaching people and doing other things to do in the space, what does the tech talent development or tech talent generally in Nigeria, and maybe more specifically the Niger Delta, what does the future look like maybe in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think the future is amazing. The future is amazing.
Are you just saying that? Or
No,
is it actually
the future is amazing because I feel that we are almost crossing the phase where I feel everyone is now going to become tech aware, right? In short, my idea would be that in every home, right, or in every company, you just have one person that is actually like a techie, right? We're almost crossing that phase. And once we get to that phase, we're going to be able to now start looking for the extraordinary. Because now almost everyone is ordinary. So you're going to start having people who are now reaching out to say, I want to be a whole lot more better. That's one. Number two is I think we're beginning to have more persons who've done it coming back to say, how can I support? To say, this is what I want to do. Okay, well, who do you have? What are you currently doing? Let me see how I can help. But if we have more and more people, then it will make a whole lot of sense. Then number three is I think we and now pushing and we're getting people building. And this is one thing that they don't understand down here. So you go to Lagos, someone has just built a product that people can order food from. And the next thing you're hearing 3 months later is that he just raised $500,000. This guy can be able to pay his product designers now, pay his graphics designer some good money. The question is, how many times do we hear such news from here? When was the last time you heard in Niger Delta, a product here just raised $2 million, right? If it happens once, everyone is going to be so excited that, it's like a miracle. But it's like a news that's happening every month in all the top cities. So I think we're now getting to that point where people are becoming conscious about building products. So if we have real founders that can build, solve low-cost solutions, bootstrap for a while, gain traction, all right, we can be able to say, please, this is what's happening. Let's get this. Let's get this one. Let's get this other one. I'll share something with you. The guys that won the hackathon that was organized by Port Harcourt Tech Expo last year, one of the things we told them was, don't think that 5 million is, or do you think that if the organizers of Port Harcourt Tech Expo can give you 5 million, do you not think that these guys can be able to invest more money if you launch this product, begin to gain traction, and they see that this product, this thing that came out from what we're doing is making it? Don't you think that they have just enough network to be able to pull investors and say, let's put in this, right? That alone has pushed them so much that if you see their product, amazing. So it's beyond that. If we can get more products, okay, like one of the things we're doing at Tech Up Port Harcourt this year is to say, come, if you have a product, have panel of investors ready, but they're not going to give you money instantly. Pitch the idea. You've been incubated for 3 months. Let them see if you can be able to, let's get traction and try to convince them. And that's my point of view, that people playing in this space should be able to help these ones. They can be stubborn sometimes. It's not easy, but let's get them, build the right character, the right principle, and then speak on their behalf too. So if you're guiding a product they launch, you guide them 2-3 months, they gain traction. They're excited. They're now seeing the results. It's okay. Do this. Chukunda, the CEO of Chingisoft, sent me a message after Tebli Blog shared the story of some guys that were building electric cars, electric bikes. They exhibited the electric bike at the Port Harcourt Tech Expo Hackathon. They were part of the participants. We did a story on them on Tebli Blog. Chukunda saw it. He's in Canada now. And he just chatted me up on WhatsApp. He said, please, I need those guys. I have some guys in Canada here that would like to invest in their product. Now, so just imagine that they missed that phase of that coordination, telling them, do like this, do this one, and all that. So I feel that tech companies should be able to do that, guide them aright, and then we can bridge that gap.
I'm certain that at least one young person from watching or listening to this episode is going or is about beginning or starting their own tech journey.
That's right.
For that person, what advice do you have for them?
It's simple. That tech is not a get rich quick scheme, right? That you still have to build some certain level of discipline. That you should learn, practice, intern, and look out for people who've walked the path that you're willing to learn from. That will be honest with you to tell you what is there. Okay, and you should be ready to learn along. Give yourself some time, but be very audacious. Be very, very audacious, and I think they'll be fine. And my idea would be that they should not all run away. It's beautiful down here.
It's beautiful out here, Stewart says, and I do believe him. Thank you for joining this episode, watching, listening to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable. Building the Builders, Developing Tech Talent is the topic of this episode. Thanks for watching again. And thanks to my guest, Stewart Ezekiel Jnr. It's been a pleasure.
Dan.
I'm Adedayo Lushaki, and this has been brought to you by Renaissance Africa Energy Company. Do have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.